For the last 5 to 6 years, I've had the great pleasure and privilege of being able to stream this game, Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, over on Twitch. I've had plenty of people come in and ask me how to improve at the game, and I thought, what a way to give back to the community than to run through, to synthesize all those thousands of hours of play into the 7 areas where I think newer players could improve at the game. The tips that I'm going to run through are pretty general. You could apply them to other first-person shooters, but obviously they're going to be pretty pertinent to Doom Eternal. With all that said, let's jump straight in. The number one opportunity I see for newer players is to use their grenades and flame belch more often. Newer players will forget equipment exists or hold on to it for a special moment. Often that moment never comes. Don't think too hard about it. Just throw some grenades. Fire up the flame belch Barbie and set some demons on fire. Besides, the more you use it, the better you'll get at knowing how best to use it. Eventually, you'll forget about the cooldown, and using the equipment will become part of the gameplay cadence. It'll just be there for you when you know it should be. Meathook to Precision Bolt. This is a technique popularized by battle mode players, but essential for campaign play. The idea is to swap mid-meathook to the Precision Bolt. Doing this does not require aiming, as when timed right, the meathook will have snapped your reticule to the target's head hitbox. It's an easy practice to bake into a habit, and adopting it helps in 2 ways. Firstly, you'll be reinforcing good movement, but secondly, and more importantly, your ammo efficiency will be vastly improved. You see, the Slayer in Doom Eternal can only carry up to 24 shells max. This means you can only fire the SSG 12 times before you're out of ammo. The Precision Bolt, on the other hand, carries 180 bullets max, meaning you can perform this move 30 times before running out of ammo. When the meathook is fully mastered, each kill will return 20 armor. Do the maths. 12 by 20 is 240, but 30 by 20 is 600. That's nearly 3 times as much potential armor before chainsawing. More armor? Less chainsawing? Win-win in my books. This little synergy is one of the most useful in the entire game for survivability. When you have the rune equipment Fiend equipped, and the meathook mastered, killing enemies burning from the meathook will contribute to reducing the cooldown of flame belch. Crazy, right? It even works if you meathook swap to Precision Bolt. The enemy just needs to be burning from the meathook when they die for awesome armor pooling potential. If you manage to kill 3 or 4 smaller enemies with this tip, you'll shave 2 to 3 seconds off of your flame belch cooldown and be 60 to 80 armor up. Do the Circularies. 7 years ago. Yeah, wow, that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago, the Spud Hunter brought forth the Circulary. In his quest to conquer Ultra Nightmare, he came up with an answer to Doom's dance. Imagine the arena is a racetrack, and try to do laps around it. Find a track that works for you in each arena, and keep going around that track. Worry a little less about killing things and concern yourself more with moving while managing your health and armor. You can use single tap dashing, meat hooking, jump pads and ballista boosting to go around and around your track even faster. But whatever you do, don't turn around and start going backwards. There'll be a whole horde of demons waiting to greet you. So stay on the move and do the Circularies. Doom has always been about choosing to bully the right demon at the right time. Really, it's analogous to undoing a massive knot in a rope. You start undoing one knot, but discover another, blocking your path. Orthogonal unit differentiation in Doom ensures that when one demon is vulnerable, a different demon can pick up the slack. This means you always have to be prepared to drop and to change plans mid-combat. It might be tempting to keep doing damage to a specific demon, but sometimes it's better to do chip damage. Leave, come back, and rinse repeat. Some of the best advice I ever received from great Quake players was to break each larger encounter up into 3 or 4 separate smaller ones. The same applies in Doom Eternal. That tyrant you really want to get rid of? Maybe you freeze him, PB, SSG, Ballista, then he unfreezes and you have to rotate off of him to try and pick off another demon. You'll do some of those Circularies until you have another stun, like a frag grenade, then you rotate back, and with that, you do more damage. At the end of the day, all you're trying to achieve is to do damage while minimizing the damage you take. In Doom Eternal, you will almost always trade during exchanges. But if you can tip the trade in your favour, well, then you're really winning. Aerial enemies in Doom Eternal can be some of the most threatening. Because they can move independently of the geometry, they have the highest potential to surprise you. Pain elementals will body block and deny almost any space you want. Cacodemons can also be quite dangerous. However, if you use the Dazed and Confused rune, you can easily turn any Cacodemon into a Meathook point. Try your best to keep that floating tomato alive and use him to keep moving away from demons and around the combat space. You're taking a demonic lemon and turning him into movement lemonade. But hey, if you have to squeeze him to stay alive, go for it. In the early days of Doom Eternal, all players were less experienced. Almost all of us only knew SSG Gauss from Doom 2016. The many more effective close range swaps, such as Precision Bolt SSG or even Precision Bolt plus Sticky Bomb, were unknown to us. Circa 2020, at that time, keeping your distance and using long range hit scan was king. For newer players today, that still holds true. Look at the earliest Ultra Nightmare speedruns compared to today. It is a huge, huge difference. So, if you're new on the journey, keep your distance, use lock-on burst, use the Precision Bolt and the Ballista. Keep away, rely on your movement and stick to long-range hit scan or homing weapons. Before engaging in a fight, work out how you will exit that fight. It could be a jump pad, a portal, it could just be a good starting position. For example, it is easier to shoot down on enemies and break line of sight by being above them rather than on or below them. Always try to start encounters with a good position or a route with which to exit the fight. Those are just 8 common areas that I see newer players being able to take greater advantage of to have more success in Doom Eternal. There's many more, such as ballista boosting, jump pad abuse, punch cancelling, yeet hooking. If you have an interest in any of those areas, let me know down in the comment section below, and I might do a part 2 video to this one or focus on any of those topics in greater detail. These 8 tips alone should be enough to get many more gold skins in the books and into the player base before Doom the Dark Ages comes out. So the clock is ticking. Do get out there, play the game, and get among it.